I love when we talk about what we're taught about having a fast metabolism. That is such a superior, it's a good thing to have. You'll never have to worry about weight or excess weight. Hey, I have a fast metabolism, I'm all set. But it was always interesting to what you educated me on when you talked about the history of it, if you think of it from an evolution standpoint. So can you explain your reference when we used to talk about coming over on ships back in, 1700s, 1600s, whenever it was?
Well, humans have been on the planet for maybe, let's say, 100,000 years.
In my head, it's in this one. It's in this
In
one
your head,
century.
yeah.
It's
So
in the 1600s.
It's through human history that people survived on the planet, and it was hard to find food to eat. Go out there in the jungle of the woods. It's not that easy to find food.
You have to scavenge for it.
Yeah,
Scavenge.
right.
Yeah.
And you'll find, grasshoppers and slugs and, and artichoke, wild artichokes. Yeah, wild blueberries. You'll find, purslane. You'll find
You
a lot
don't actually think people were eating slugs, do you?
I don't know.
Okay. We should look into that.
People ate whatever they could find,
Yeah.
But people died, when it was weather or whatever it was, where people couldn't get enough food to eat, and people died of starvation.
All the time.
Right. So
Absolutely.
people weren't dying of excess calories until the farming revolution, the industrial revolution allowed people to get extra calories, and maybe some wealthy royalty, rulers had too much calories, but most of the masses were just barely surviving with not enough calories.
It was the very wealthy and very rare person that actually was overweight. It was seen as an opulence, as a luxury.
Right.
Because it was so rare. Yeah.
Right. So genetics enhanced survival in people who could get by with less calories. Nowadays we have people that are who gain weight and get overweight more readily than another person might. And those are the people from genetically from centuries ago that would have survived with less calories.
Right.
But thrust in an environment with excess calories, they're the first to die now, because their body's not adapted to all these excess calories. So I'm also saying that fat on the body your body fat percent is a huge longevity controller.
Absolutely. And so if you think about it from a time where people were battling with starvation, the ones who had a fast metabolism died sooner and died of hunger, but the ones with the slow metabolism actually were able to make it and survive.
And pass on their genes.
So it's not a bad thing to have a slow metabolism. However, it is a bad thing to overeat.
Well, in today's food, we have a toxic food environment where people are eating processed foods. And of course, even the animal products are processed to a degree because they're higher fat than natural animal products anyway. But in any case...
why is that? I've never heard you say that.
Well, because they're animals not running around wild in the woods.
Right, they're
very lean. They're living in a pen.
Oh, they have more fat on them.
They have more body fat on them, yeah. So the animal fat body has more fat on them too.
Right.
So and fat has 9 calories a gram compared to carbohydrate 4 calories a gram, 5 calories a gram. But the point here is that, yes, people never could have with such a huge caloric environment with a huge caloric rush.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the caloric rush, if you're not sure what we're talking about here, means how many calories you can get in the bloodstream at one time. You can get a huge amount of calories in the blood that you could never have gotten had you lived 1,000 years ago or 20,000 years ago.
Right.
And our bodies haven't changed. We still the same body the cavemen have, the same genes, the same structure. We are cave people. We lived thousands of years ago. Our bodies haven't changed since then. But now we have sugar and oil and salt and butter. We have all these things that we can get our calories in the blood so high. And those calories in the blood being so high raises growth hormones and also has an effect to biologically turn on cancer-promoting genes and prevent the shutting off of cancer-promoting genes. So the caloric rush, this huge caloric load in the bloodstream, which turns on cancer-promoting genes, also makes you age faster.
Right.
So you're aging faster as you're damaging your DNA.